Well, welcome in the kitchen. We're in here tonight. Turn y'all this way just a little bit. I'm over here browning some sausage. We're gonna have flatbread pizzas. I've got this right here. I think I got it at Aldi or Trader Joe's. And I bought this at Trader Joe's sometime back. And I've had it in the freezer. And we're going to have flatbread pizzas for tonight. And I'm browning sausage right now. I've got pizza sauce that I made and canned. So I've got that. The sausage is just about done. Turn it off. It'll continue to cook there just a minute. Let me get our tea ready. This way. Bring it down just a little bit. I can put 2 on a cookie sheet. Let me get out another one. This bread smells good. It's garlic flavored flatbread. Looks like Easter eggs. Doesn't it? Kind of looks like an egg shape. Let's get our pizza sauce. Shake it up good. That one's probably not good because it's not sealed. This one's still sealed. Yeah, that one's sealed up good. One there, I'll have to go out. I made this with that Mrs. Wages mix, and it's good. My fresh tomatoes and everything. I hope I've got enough to do all 4 of these. And I bet I won't have. I'll have to go out. I'll send the mister in there behind the bed because that's where this is. Stacked up. I need another jar of it. Oh, poo. I'll be right back. We went in there and pulled out the bed and got us another jar of sauce. Y'all let me know what you like on your pizzas. Tonight's just whatever we've got on hand kind of night. We usually do ham and mushrooms, but tonight it's going to be sausage and mushroom. Okay. Now then, let me get a spoon. Get some of this sausage over here. Can y'all see? You got any funny stories you want to tell?
About what?
Anything.
You want to tank the channel?
No, they like to hear your stories.
Well, what would be inappropriate?
I don't know. God's trying to come up with something.
Well, now I'm on the spot.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when Macy was little and she'd say something funny, Daddy. Those are our friends were around. That's before she was old enough to be embarrassed on me. So. Something about it. Such a pressure big comic. The suicide rate's very high among comics.
Oh, Lord.
Well, you know it is.
Yeah.
You're out of sour frowning now, I ain't live on.
Try not to hit the counter.
Well, on the winter prepper story, I told that one about the dad and seeing
Yeah.
the spring. So.
No, you haven't. Not on the channel.
Have I not told that?
I don't think so.
Huh. Well, I'll tell it to your audience. If they've heard it before, then they'll know that both of us are senile and losing our minds. My dad would come up with all kinds of crazy things. He'd say all kinds of crazy stuff. And I remember it was one winter time, it was about this time of year, and it was cold, really cold. It was that cold where the sky just turns ice blue.
About like it is right now.
And now I think it's colder than today. But anyhow, it was like 20 degrees maybe or something, which is really cold for this area during the daytime. And we were out in the field, and I don't know, I was feeding cattle or wherever else. It was just bone chilling cold. And Dad said, I can see spring in the air. And I mean spring in the air. And I'm like, I just got to laughing. And he got to laughing. And it's like, well, here it was like January the 20th or something. In the middle of the winter cold, and he was seeing spring in the air. But Dad loved spring. He always looked forward to it. Of course, we all did. Lived here on a farm. He was real big into raising flowers and roses and things, and he just thrived outside. And my daddy would come up with some really, really funny things, because I was a little boy, and of course, I wasn't too bright. But anyhow, I mean, we used to raise tobacco. Now, I don't know whether where most of you are, but where we are here in East Tennessee, tobacco was a big, big crop. Just about everybody out in the farmlands had tobacco allotment, and they had raised tobacco every year. And you could only raise so many pounds of tobacco a year to sell. That's because it was called an allotment. And a lot of people wanted to raise tobacco, and they didn't have enough allotment, or they didn't have barns to hang their tobacco in and things. And what they would do is they would raise tobacco on the shares. So basically, however much money the tobacco brought when it was sold around Christmas time, the landowner, the one that had the allotment money, would get a third of the money, and the person that raised it would get 2/3. And there was a guy that used to raise our tobacco, and I was little. I was probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 or whatever else. And I asked Dad one day, I said, who is the guy that raising our tobacco and this and that? I was kind of curious as a kid. I asked a lot of questions that kids shouldn't ask, but anyhow, it was just me. And he said the guy's name was Arnold Toynbee, which that's a funny name in itself, Arnold Toynbee. So I kind of took that. Okay, Arnold Toynbee.
I'm putting some mozzarella cheese on top of this.
This went on for several years now. As I said, I want to bright, but after a couple of years, I started to think to myself, that just doesn't sound really right. And
All right, I'm gonna put them in the oven. I'll show them to you when they come out. Go ahead and finish the story.
well, I'm watching my food. Well, it's pretty good. Good enough to eat. Oh, so anyhow, I kind of got a little skeptical of that. Eventually, we got somebody else to raise tobacco. Finally, I was an adult before I realized I got to reading. And once I learned to read past the first grade level. And I come to find out that Arnold Toynbee was actually in the Revolutionary War. He was a British soldier in the Revolutionary War. And Dad just came up with that. And there was another trick he played on me when I was a little kid. And we had cattle. And Dad kind of started out, Dad was, I call him a gentleman farmer. He bought some cows, and he would buy a few around here and there, and this and that. And he bought one cow over here, kind of behind the mountain over from us. And he bought her from this guy over here, and I asked him, of course, being curious once again, at the time I don't learn my lesson about Arnold Toynbee. But I said, who's the guy that you bought that off of? He said, his name's Farmer Brown. Now, I should know that because, even little nursery school kids, whatever, they heard about Farmer Brown, but I was gullible. And I tend to believe too much. Even someone will often tell stories as fact, very adamant saying that's a fact or whatever else. And they'll go on and on and on. And, I kind of believe it or want to believe it or whatever else. But come to find out that individual just made it up.
Well, he asked...
They didn't have an answer. They just made one up.
He will ask me questions. Like I'm supposed to have the answers to anything he asks. So a lot of times I don't know, so I just...
There's nothing wrong with saying, I don't know.
I know. I say that a lot, though. But sometimes I'm like, well...
I don't know.
Yeah, okay. So whatever it is, I just spit it out there, just matter of fact.
The philosopher Socrates said...
No, ma'am. Get down.
The philosopher Socrates said, the truly intelligent man realizes how little he knows.
Well, so, I'm not a man.
And I know...
There we go. I'm not a man.
So the bottom story is women know it all. And they'll let men know it too.
That's right, we do, don't we?
All one wrong off.
All right, that one got him, y'all. That got him. Our pizzas are in the oven, and when they come out, I'll be back and show y'all what they look like. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna take this out of the oven. Look at that. Don't those look delicious? They look delicious. Those are flatbread pizzas, and they are hot. Hot, hot, hot. Come over here and get your story. He's got something to tell you. He looked something up and he was wrong. So he's got to tell y'all the truth now.
Now, don't let anybody say I won't admit to my mistakes and my erroneous educational efforts, but I feel compelled that I must admit where I have fallen short. This involves Arnold Toynbee, but as my story develops, I'm sure you will maybe give me a little bit of grace in this. Actually, according to my research, Arnold Toynbee was possibly not a Revolutionary War soldier, unless maybe his great-grandfather actually was, which I think this name, believe it or not, has gone down through generations, which it's unbelievable, Arnold Toynbee. But anyhow, Arnold Toynbee was actually a a British historian and philosopher and a writer. He was a graduate of Oxford. He taught at the London School of Economics, and he died in 1975. Now, the only vindication I may have for my error here, he wrote a book called The Continuing Effect of the American Revolution. So that's where I tied him to the American Revolution. My father was a learned man and a reader, and I guess he used to say he's just going to pick the name Arnold Toynbee out and tell him. But now I failed in my events. I thought I was getting one up on him, which I really was. But so Arnold Toynbee was not a Revolutionary War soldier, at least the one I'm probably referencing right here. And he was actually a philosopher and a writer, and wrote a book about the effects of the American Revolution. So there I am. I've admitted when I've stated wrong. Some people are not willing to do that, but I have. So
I do if I'm wrong.
So
I just make things up, and sometimes I have to just confess and say, I don't know, I just made that up. And he'll say, I thought you did.
well, I really didn't try to make that up. I was confused about it, and well, Google's my friend, but sometimes I run my mouth in advance. These pizzas look good.
We're going to try them here in a minute.
You got enough? You can feed some of your fans right there.
I can, kind of. Look at that. Yum. Yum, 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 yum. I'll try to put all of it on one pan to take to the table. Might be able to, since I cut two of them. Cut them all up into smaller pieces. What am I trying to do? Yeah, I got it. All right. We're
You
going
need
to
to show them your cookies you made for tonight.
my cookies I made. I did not make these cookies, y'all. As
Well,
can
you said
tell.
that. You said you had.
I did not. I said I got cookies.
Oh.
Andy's been wanting to eat the Valentine cookies already. I told him he could have them for dessert. I said, you gotta wait for dessert. So
Yeah, well, you went in that little bakery, Dad. You had to get some.
that's right. That's exactly right. All right. We're going to go eat this pizza. You all remember, as always, like, share, subscribe, comment, ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss a video. That'll be all for this one. I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.